Oh.
You know what? I really bugs me that I cannot hear the clapping.
I couldn't hear the clapping that time either.
All right. Well, maybe there was no clapping.
So,
Pretend there was clapping. I'm going to click it again, see what happens. Yeah, we're that good.
yeah, no clapping.
All right. So, technical difficulties aside, you are listening to Geek Vice, the home of nothing ever goes right when you want it to. And because nothing ever goes right when you want it to, we're starting 40 minutes late. We're going to blame nobody.
You can blame me for this one.
It's like the perfect storm of blame. It's me, it's my wife, it's Morph. We all share the fact that we're 40 minutes late.
We can blame my wife too. So
there you go. We got it all going on. All right, take us out of here.
All right, welcome to Geek Vice, episode 80, a podcast by two geeks just trying to be heard in a world now flooded with geeks. My name's Morph. That guy's Kip. We're running late because there was bunko at the neighbor's house. My neighbors were hanging out with me because they didn't want to deal with all the estrogen, so I had a bunch of people here at the house. We got the kids in bed late, which means I get late to down here, and in that late time, Kip and his wife decided to watch the season finale of Vikings. So, we're doing geeky stuff, so you guys can all suck it and wait for us.
Well, don't really suck it, because we all like you. Seriously.
Yeah, that's true. We do. We like the, 4 people that listen to this thing, and the one person that's listening right now.
That just dropped off because we suck.
We killed it. So, how are you doing tonight, Kip? What have you been doing this last week?
Oh, man, I'm doing all right. It's been a crazy week, as usual. I still believe my job is trying to kill me. But outside of that, I did have some time for some enjoyment. Eddie of Doug and Eddie fame told me about this show called Unicorn City. And it sounds like a kid's cartoon, but it's basically an independent film that centers around LARPers. So, just with that alone, I had to watch it. And, he told me, well, if you've seen Knights of Badassdom, you should see this. So I had seen Knights of Badassdom. So we looked around. Did I say it was on Netflix? I don't think we found it on Netflix. I think we found it on Hulu.
It's on Amazon Instant Video for $4.
Yeah, see, I wasn't paying shit for it. So yeah, it was on Hulu, I believe, is where we watched it.
I'm the last person that's going to tell you have to pay for something.
This is true. This is a true statement. But I actually really like this little film. It's funny in the right places. It's got a good heart. Yeah, it kind of makes fun of the LARPers, but then again, it doesn't go overboard making fun of them. And it basically centers around this group of people that are playing D&D at their local gaming store. And the one guy who's played by Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite is kind of like the guild leader, I guess you'd call him, the game master. And he's kind of a prick. And so the one guy decides he's had enough, slams a sword through the table, all this other stuff. He's got anger issues, as you know, most gamers do. And so he's like this down his luck loser, and he's trying to get this kick-ass job as game designer at this software company. And they're like, yeah, your resume is like everybody else's. You got to show us that you're worthy. So they give him a week to prove it. So he decides to put together this LARPing event where he shows his leadership skills, and they film it. And of course, the evil Uncle Rico gets wind of it and thwarts his plans, and it's just great, And then there's this girl, of course, who loves him, but he doesn't realize it or doesn't pay attention to her at first, and it's Hollywood. She's smoking hot, and he's ignoring her. Yeah, not really what's going to happen in the real world.
Yeah,
but it's Hollywood, so you just go with it. But Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So if you get a chance, check out Unicorn City. It's just a fun little movie. And even if you don't like the LARPing scene or whatever, which I am not involved in, I'd like to check it out sometime. But I'm not a an actor by any stretch of the imagination, so I think I'd fail miserably. But what they did looked like it was a lot of fun to make that movie, and I like a good independent film with some heart. Yeah. So I recommend it. Go for it. Give it a try.
Cool. I'll put it on the list.
Yes, you will. What else did I see?
What else do you got there? What about this Unplanned America thing?
Oh yeah, so we watched that. Okay, so here's the setup. As spring is working its magic and it's getting nicer outside, and well, supposedly, but here it's just been raining every day.
Yeah.
The wife and I are watching seasons wrapping up of our favorite TV shows, and the wife makes the comment, it would be really nice when all these shows are over so we can move on to other things. It's like, yeah, you're right, it would be kind of nice. But as soon as these shows ended, now we're like, there's nothing to watch. So we turn on Netflix and we're flipping around and we find this show called Unplanned America. And it's a documentary. It's three guys from Australia. They buy some video equipment and a piece of shit Nissan and drive across America looking for America's subculture. And it's sad that three Australians had to show me how cool doing a documentary in America can be, but that's what it took. And they went places like Seattle, where they found these guys who are actually dressing up as superheroes and actually fighting crime. And they're smart about it. They're not doing anything foolish. They actually have a good rapport with the police there. So it's not like what you see in the movies where, like the Arrow is the vigilante and everybody's out to arrest him. It's nothing like that. I guess maybe it's because they're not killing anybody. That probably would help. And, so they followed them around, interviewed them. That was really cool. And then, so there's something I could get behind. That's really cool. I'd be like, that'd be fun. But then they go to areas and things that if somebody would have said, hey, let's go to this, I'd be like, no way in hell. But because of this documentary, I can see the other side of the fence, I guess you could say. And what I'm referring to is they went to a Juggalo event. Juggalo is those people that follow the insane clown posse.
Yeah.
And so you're watching this, and on the surface, it looks like a bunch of drug-addicted, white trash kind of people doing this stuff. But after a while, you realize these are people who feel like they don't fit in. They're outsiders in what we'll call common society in America. And this gives them a place to come, feel like they belong. It's their community. And because of this, I now look at that whole movement completely different. And it gets you to thinking, what does the city you live in offer that is something like what I saw in this Unplanned America show? Is there a subculture here in Kansas City that I don't even know? Well, obviously I wouldn't know it exists because I never leave the house. But, that is really cool that a lot of people don't know exist. And and on the surface, if you heard about it, you'd be like, well, this is a waste of time, or why do they allow these people to assemble legally and all this other stuff? But once you got to know the culture and why they do it, I think you'd have appreciation for your city. Yeah. And so that kind of got me thinking. It's like, you know what? I would love to see what I call a documentary movement. You've got the maker movement going on right now and things like that. It'd be really cool if everybody, we had the podcast boom. Everybody's got a podcast. Hell, we've got a podcast. So, how hard can it be? But, you know,
Yeah,
documentary,
exactly.
all we need is a video camera and some gumption. It looked like it would be a heck of a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, what does Kansas City have? You know, so I started looking up things because I saw Unicorn City. It's like I typed in Kansas City LARPing, and there was like 3 or 4 groups at places that are pretty visible. Places you think I would have accidentally ran across them at some point, but never did. And it's like, there's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't have a camera other than my little laptop here. And, you know, but it's like it gets the juices going. It's like, you know, that's something maybe Geek Vice could get involved in.
Yeah.
Go out there and find these little subcultures and see what we can find in our corner of the world. It'd be cool. So check out Unplanned America. See if you have the same visceral reaction to it that I had. Maybe you don't. Maybe I'm just easily entertained and easily persuaded into action. Who knows? But I really liked it. And like I said, it was sad that it took 3 guys from a foreign country to show me how cool my own country is. But that's what they did.
Well, and you said this first series that they did is on Netflix.
Yes.
On their website it says they are currently on the road filming series 2 and 3 in the U.S. So
nice. Yeah, and it did
more to come.
It only seemed like there was 6 episodes, but maybe I just went through them so fast there was more.
Right.
And it was just like, man, to be 25 again and just jump in a car with a bunch of my friends and go do something like that would have been cool as hell.
Yeah.
And, you know, you watch these guys and like, yeah, you did it hoping to be discovered. I get it. But still, even if you don't, the stories you could tell for the rest of your life by doing this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And, you know, I really think these kids, I can call them kids, even though they have beards, I still can call them kids because I'm probably 20 years older than them. They did something great.
Yeah.
Even if it was just 3 fraternity brothers thinking, wouldn't this be hilarious? They still did something great. So
yeah, and it got people thinking. I mean, obviously it worked. It worked in some sense because they've raised enough money through crowdfunding or through sponsorship to do another couple series. So, you know, good for them. Good on them. And you know, if some of I'm on their webpage right now, unplannedamerica.com, and if some of their blog posts here are stuff that's going to be in the next series, some of these actually look really interesting, like the Skatopia, an anarchist skater colony at the foot of the Appalachian Mountains. Kind of makes me think of some of the Tony Hawk video games. I'm wondering if there's some crazy shit like that on there.
yeah.
One of the other one here is the Baroness, New York City's fetish culture royal. So
yeah.
that's obviously going to be interesting.
Yeah, the world's oldest BDSM training chateau. I mean, these guys are finding these things all over America. Just imagine if somebody just sunk a little bit of time in the city they live in, you'd probably find 5 or 6 different things that you didn't know existed that would be like, all right, I don't want to be a part of it, but it would be really cool to visit it, understand why they do what they do, get to know these people, and film it. I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah. No.
And if I had any ambition whatsoever, I would do this.
Now, Kip's next purchase is going to be a video camera. Clubhouse wanting to put you on camera, just beware.
You know, or I could just be a total weirdo, walk around with my laptop. Here, talking to the laptop. Yeah.
That'd be awesome. I think that's a great idea. Great idea.
Yeah, and it comes complete with a cat who's leaning up against the laptop right now.
And shaking the camera.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's all right. It gives you a little shaky cam so you feel like we're live. You know?
That's right. It feels like a handy cam. But,
well, that's awesome. You know, I don't have anything, you know, like very inspiring like that. I am caught up on The Flash and Arrow since the last time we were on. I've got caught up on both of those. I'm gonna next on my list is getting caught up on Gotham.
Yeah, we'll probably do that about the same time, I think, so we'll at least can
Yeah,
compare notes on Gotham. But thankfully, we're both done with Arrow and Flash and Agents of Shield. So
and Agents of Shield. So we're getting into getting some of those taken care of, and I got a few others still on my DVR. I got to make sure I get that all cleared off and start marking down all the stuff that I'm gonna get. So when I drop cable, that's my goal is to drop my satellite before the start of the next seasons. So
yeah, well, that's a good goal to have.
yeah,
We just got Google Fiber, so if I'm sounding like I'm talking really fast, it's because it's Google Fiber. But cable's cable.
yeah.
I got it for the internet speed. So, if I could ever kick my addiction to college football, I could probably cut the cord.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm too addicted to college football.
And I understand. And right now, there's not a good option for you, but I think it's coming. So hang in.
I think so too. So we did mention Arrow and Flash. I wanted to get your opinion. What did you think of the season finale of Arrow? Did it feel like they thought they weren't getting renewed?
Yeah, actually it did. It kind of felt like they were ending. Honestly, whether they thought it was getting renewed or not, whether they knew or not, it felt like they wrote it as this is the end of the Arrow as you know it. Now they can continue on with the other characters, or if for some reason they didn't get picked up or it wasn't a big hit, I kind of wonder if CW said you get 3 seasons. We will give you 3 seasons. Which kind of makes sense because some of the other shows that are on the CW that have been kept going have been pretty shitty and not doing very good on the ratings, but they keep them going for a little while to see if they do, if they finally catch. CW doesn't seem to be one that pulls the trigger too slow, or too quick. To get rid of a show that might not be performing as well, to give it a chance to actually build up. So I kind of wonder if this is what they had written for the story of the Green Arrow, and so now I'm curious what they do with Speedy. Some of the big thing though is like, okay, now you've got what is it called? The Heroes of Tomorrow?
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow, the new series. Well, that's going to have Adam. That's going to have, I guess it's not going to have Laura Lance. It's going to have the White Canary, which is going to be Sarah brought back from the dead, which I thought was going to happen in Arrow, but apparently it's not.
Yeah.
I guess they kind of make it seem like it could happen with the fact that they brought, what's her name? Speedy back. And, so I don't know what they're going to do with the next season of this. And I'm kind of curious to see what they do, but I'm also a little hesitant. I mean, it does feel like the series is over.
It does. And, they had themes that were throughout all 3 seasons. The biggest one was you can't be a hero and have a personal life.
Yeah.
So he finally got his personal life, and then they drove off in a convertible into the sunset.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does feel like CW said you have 3 seasons to tell your story, and that's what they did. And then when they got picked up for more, they're like, well, I am like you. I'm curious to see where they go from here. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe they start off with Speedy and some other people trying to fight crime, and it just doesn't work out, and he has to come back and save the day. I don't, that's one possibility. I mean,
Roy's gone. Diggle's not sure he wants to come back. Ray Palmer is going to have to go off with Legends of Tomorrow. So it's really gonna be. Is it just gonna be maybe Nessa and Laurel? I mean, and Speedy. I guess I don't know. I I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I don't know what they're gonna do, and I don't know how they're gonna to develop it. And honestly, I don't unless they give us a good hint or maybe they give us some previews for what's gonna come up. I don't know. I don't know that I'm
Yeah.
ready to buy in on it. I want to see something happen. Like I was really enjoying what they were doing, and I
Yeah.
really enjoyed the last few episodes. So
Well, at least with Arrow, they still had Grodd out there and stuff like that. But yeah, they just or Flash, Arrow, they just cleaned everything up,
yeah,
and and so I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be a whole season of crossing over to make sure Legends of Tomorrow gets its due and make sure Flash gets some. Flash doesn't really need the help though, but make
right.
sure there's some cameos on Flash. I don't know. I guess the big tell will be if there's a casting of a villain mentioned
Yeah.
over the summer. That would be the big tell. I don't know. I'm curious because I'm enjoying Arrow. From what somebody told me they read that Stephen Amell doesn't really want to continue doing TV much longer. He wants to get into the movie side of it.
Right.
So I don't know. Maybe season 4 will be it.
Yeah. And
I,
maybe season 4 will. Yeah. Maybe season 4 won't even show him except for maybe a few cameo spots, and that it is centered around his sister being the Red Arrow.
Speedy.
Yeah. So yeah, we got that going for us, and we're gonna jump right into this because the main topic here that I wanted to talk about was the 2015 TV preview.
Dun dun dun.
You know, I am a I know a lot of people don't like the IGN website. They think it's kind of a little and at one time I think it was one where you couldn't really believe what was being said because you didn't know who was buying their reviews. But in this one thing that I really do like about IGN is the fact that they go through and they'll put this preview together. And it's not even so much that they're saying, well, this is going to be really good and this is going to be really bad. It's just these are the shows that are coming on. And I like that because it gives me a chance to look through here a list of just all these new shows that are come on, and I could say, well, I like this one and it's going to come on this date, and so I can kind of be prepared for some of this. Um, some of the ones that look kind of interesting, one of them is already started, and that's Texas Rising. Um,
Right.
that one looks kind of cool. It's going to be on the History Channel. I don't know that that's one that I'm going to watch, but it's only a 5-part miniseries, so about the Texas Revolution and the last stand at the Alamo, and it does have Bill Paxton in it.
It does have him. Yeah. Being a history nut the way I am, I'll probably watch it at one point. It's one of those that I complained about this before, but when you go to AMC theater to watch a movie, the stuff they show beforehand, Texas Rising is always the sneak peek that they give us.
Yeah.
So you go to the movie enough, then you're like, well, I'm so tired of seeing previews of this show. I don't think I want to see it now. But I don't know. Give me a chance to get over that, and I'll probably watch it.
Well, okay. How about this one? And this one started last week. The premiere was last week on 5/28. It's on NBC. It's called Aquarius. Have you heard of this one?
I have, and I like David Duchovny, so I'm curious to see how.
And this is kind of interesting. It's a 13 episode event series, so it's only 13 episodes, and then it's also going to release all the 13 episodes for free online. So, on the day of the premiere, so you can actually go watch this all right now. But it is a story, a Los Angeles police sergeant in 1967 who teams up with an undercover officer who poses as a hippie for a twisting mystery that leads them to the doorstep of Charles Manson.
Yeah, 1967 was a hell of a year. That's the year I was born, by the way. So,
Yeah,
yep,
I
I'm
mean,
that old.
You got things like Charles Manson and you being born. We should have known that the world was coming to an end right then.
Yeah, well, you know, I did my part. I brought that. We do have a question,
Sure.
and I know what the answer is already, but it was: do you watch The Walking Dead, and what did you think of the season ending?
I do not watch The Walking Dead anymore because I don't like. I was afraid that it was going to make me angry watching it every week because it was making me angry in the second season. So the comic books are way better. So if you like the TV series, go read the comic books because they're better.
Well, at least you're not
Ish.
opinionated or anything.
Yeah, ish. Go
Yeah.
read a book. You're right. You should read them.
Everybody tells me what a great show The Walking Dead is, but I don't know. I can't make myself watch it. Plus, I've seen Battlestar Galactica, so I've had enough of humanity trying to survive.
Well, and the problem with the TV show, the problem that I have with the TV show, and I have this problem. The first season I liked, but I could tell this problem was building from the first season, and that was it has to deviate enough from the comic books to keep it original. Like it and I get that. I understand that. However, I had a vested interest when I read the comic books. Like if I hadn't read the comic books and I just watched the TV show, then I'm pretty sure I would have just latched on to the TV show and I would have kept going. Because it's a good premise. It's a good the way they write it, the way Kirkman has the stuff all laid out. It's good and entertaining. But some of the scenes and some of the character developments and the way the characters developed within the comic books, they couldn't develop them the same way for the TV series. So, like, I can't remember her name. The blonde girl who is from the first one, whose sister gets eaten in like the first season, and she in the comic books, she becomes just an expert sniper, and basically like she just has a knack for shooting a rifle and picking things off from long range. So she becomes Rick's like right hand woman. Like she is the one that there's oh no, we've got walkers coming up. We need to take these guys out. Put her up. She climbs on top of the RV and basically works as his backup as he goes out with a hammer or a bat or whatever silent weapon he uses to go take these guys down with at the time. And he goes out there and tries to get rid of these walkers. And the only time she fires a gun is when his life is in danger because that gun brings in more Andrea. There we go.
Thanks, Ish. I'm glad somebody watches this show.
She goes and just starts picking these people off that protects her group. So they work together as like in the comic books, they almost form like a military group that goes around and protects each other. In the TV show, they just fight and bitch about stupid things. It becomes more of a soap opera, and I don't like it. I'm sorry, but Rick's wife shouldn't have been worrying about stuff in the second season that she was worrying about. She should have been worried about the fact that there is nothing left and they're all going to die. So that's my 2 cents.
Well, okay.
So there you go, Ish. Long-winded answer. No, I didn't watch it. And
yeah.
But, if we get into something else that's coming out this summer, and it actually starts this week on Netflix, what if I told you the Wachowskis we're going to get together with the Babylon 5 creator and comic book writer J. Michael Straczynski to do a TV series on Netflix. What do you think about that?
I would think you need to tell me what it's called so I can find it.
It's called Sense8.
Yeah, it starts Friday.
The story of 8 strangers from different cultures and parts of the world who, in the aftermath of a tragic death, suddenly find themselves mentally and emotionally connected. An evolutionary leap of technological origin. I have no idea what that means, but it's the Wachowski brothers and Straczynski. I like J. Michael Straczynski's comic book writing, and I like the Wachowski brothers with some of their TV series. This is something I might actually have to check out.
Yeah, I saw that it starts on Friday, and every time I get on Netflix, it's like, damn, it's not Friday yet. So I am going to check it out. So
we also got things like Defiance season 2 is coming back. I didn't really like season 1, so I'm not really going to watch season 2, but it's there if you like that kind of thing.
Well, here's a question for you.
Sure.
I'm looking at the link you sent, and I see Beauty and the Beast is returned for a shortened season 3. So the question is how the fuck does a show like Beauty and the Beast get 3 seasons and Almost Human got canceled?
Because it's on the CW. Did you see that? CW.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
And it's already been renewed for season 4.
It's just wrong. I'm sorry. It's wrong.
I completely agree with you. Yeah, I agree. Almost Human is way better than that show. And I haven't even watched it, so. But
well, you should have. It was great.
But I guess, did you ever watch the TV series Hit Record on TV?
No.
It is Joseph Gordon-Levitt's kind of like, it's almost like a vaudeville, not even really vaudeville, but like a variety series is what they call it. You know, it's a lot of short films that that people have done. Like, he put a calling out there that says like, hey, do something like this, and gives out like a theme, and then all these people do little shorts and animations and things like that, and he puts them all together on this thing. And it's on a channel called Pivot, but you can also find, and this is he's starting his second season, and this has been on TV on this channel Pivot, but he's been doing it on his website. I think it's just called Hit Record, and it's actually kind of interesting. It's kind of neat with what they do. I check it out every once in a while and watch some of the stuff that they have online. I don't know that I'm going to go like finding Pivot just so I can watch it this summer, but it's definitely one to check out online. I recommend checking out Hit Record.
I'll have to check it out. I noticed with the Google Fiber that we have the Pivot channel.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'll give it a whirl. And maybe season 1 is on demand or something. I'll check it out.
Yeah. Check her out. Check her out. You got anything on this list that you see that jumps out at you?
Well, there's a couple. That Making of the Mob on AMC.
Yeah, that one does look interesting.
But I have Google Fiber, so we don't get AMC. Isn't that the channel The Walking Dead's on?
That is.
Yeah, so even Google understood that I didn't want to see the AMC channel. But that does look pretty good. And there was one up here. There's a Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell on BBC America.
Yeah, I saw that, but I don't really know what that, like, I don't know anything about it other than it's got Eddie Marsan from Ray Donovan.
Yeah. And it's a alternate world version of the Industrial Revolution where magic exists, is what it says. And I don't know. Just that tagline alone makes me think it's worth a go. The other part of it that makes me think it's worth a go, it's only a 7-part series.
Yeah.
So
a nice fit for the summer.
Exactly, and it's on BBC America.
And
I like a lot of stuff they put out.
I was gonna say they do some really good shows.
Yeah, and I like Eddie Marsan, however you say it. Bertie Carvel, I don't know anything about, but
I don't know him either.
So willing to give it a shot.
Did you ever watch? Oh, here Ish says she's waiting for Fear the Walking Dead to start this summer, which I actually do want to check this out. Fear the Walking Dead, if you don't know, is the spinoff from The Walking Dead. I believe the rumors is it's supposed to take place on the West Coast. And yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that one, and that is one that I might actually check out just to see what they do with it. And because again, this is kind of my same complaint with the first Walking Dead is I liked the comic book too much and it was too different from the comic book. This one's got no comic book to it. This is completely original. So I'm actually kind of interested to see what's happening over there and see how they handle it. What I don't want to see is I don't want to see the same thing over again. So I'm hoping that Robert Kirkman doesn't just try to redo what he just did and do just another Walking Dead on the other side of the United States.
So what you just told me is Fear the Walking Dead is supposed to be the exact same thing, but in Los Angeles or on the. Did you say West Coast?
Yeah, West Coast as opposed to East Coast.
So it's going to be the difference between CSI Miami and CSI Los Angeles.
That's what I'm afraid of. Well,
sign me up.
Maybe they're gonna have the guy. What's his name? The guy with the glasses just takes his sunglasses off.
I don't know, man. It's your story.
I don't know. It's the CSI Miami guy. I forgot his name. He's a redhead. He's a ginger.
Oh, holy shit! Was he the guy that was on NYPD Blue a long time ago?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
He was really good on that show. The dude. HBO has a shit ton of stuff coming out this summer. True Detective's coming back.
I'm looking forward to that.
There's this TV show called The Brink, which is from the guy of the Weeds. Ish says that this spinoff is supposed to be the beginning of it all. That is a rumor out there. I haven't heard that's actually going to be the case, but we'll see. We're going to look forward to it. I'm going to watch it, Ish. I'm going to watch it. And we'll talk about it right here. So you stay tuned for this summer.
And if you hate it, or if you like it, we could have you both on together and you can hash it out.
Yeah.
And I'll just take a nap.
There you go. Hey, Ish, you want to take his place anyway, so.
Yeah, she wants my job for some reason.
But
it's not like it's glory.
The one show that is coming out on HBO that I'm really looking forward to is called Ballers.
Yeah, I'm curious about this as well.
I want to see what it's like. And the reason I want to see what it's like is because ESPN tried to do this 12 years ago and the NFL shut them down. 12 years ago, in August of 2003, ESPN put out a TV series called Playmakers. Kip, I know, doesn't really remember or never watched this, at least. So if anyone else out there has seen this, or even if you haven't seen this, check it out. It was really good. ESPN did a really good job with this. And the kind of the premise of it was it took place in a make-believe football world. It was a nondescript team. It was I think it was called the Cougars was the actual name of the roster or the team. But it basically went through the life of some of these players, and it really took place more outside, off the football field rather than on. And it was actually really good. It got into some, hard-hitting things. The NFL didn't like that it kind of portrayed a negative aspect of the players off the fields, and but it was still really good. Like, it just handled it really well. It kind of took after. Honestly, watching it, I understood why the NFL was mad about it and didn't like it. So I am curious if HBO is going to go the same route. They've got The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, as the star of this thing. They call it a sports comedy, so I'm wondering if maybe they're going to treat some of this more for satire, or if they're going to get into some of the hard-hitting things like, the domestic abuse that happens with football players, or the drug use, PEDs and whatnot. So,
yeah, I highly doubt something that's considered a comedy is going to deal with domestic violence, but I am hopeful there'll be a lot of boobs.
Yeah,
so
there's probably a ton of boobs.
Yeah, probably.
It's HBO, so there's going to be naked women in strip clubs and that kind of stuff. So, but and
that's why the NFL shut down the ESPN version. There wasn't any nudity, and it really bothered them.
That's probably the case. Yeah, that's probably the case. Did you ever watch The Last Ship on TNT?
No, it looks horrific. I'm not gonna watch that shit.
Yeah, that came.
Did you watch it?
Season. I did not.
There's one on this list though that there's a couple. Did you read the description for Killjoys?
Killjoys. On Syfy.
It's on Sci-Fi, and the fact that it just says Killjoys follows a fun-loving, hard-living trio of interplanetary bounty hunters. Yeah, I'm in. That sounds like
sound good.
That sounds like it's gonna be dumb, and I'm gonna like it.
I skipped right over that one.
Ready to move?
Of course you did.
I'm gonna have to check that one out.
And a season of Tough Enough, which is the training facility for the WWE. It's basically a reality show.
Yeah.
The winners get a contract to the WWE. They did this, I don't know, 8-10 years ago, and we watched it, and at the time, nobody in the house watched anything wrestling related, and we loved that show. So I'm looking forward to that coming back. So that should be fun. Now that the wife is completely addicted to the WWE, it'll be fascinating to see her reaction to Tough Enough. And if they let Seth Rollins have a cameo on that thing, she'd probably pass out from excitement.
There seems to be there's going to be a lot on there. This Hulk Hogan, Ryan, Chris Jericho, and Mae Young. I have no idea who any of these people are. I've heard of Chris Jericho, and I know.
Sadly, I know who every one of those people are.
No thanks. I'm not interested in that.
I'm going to watch it. And I'm going to give you a recap every week on this podcast just to drive you crazy.
Well, there's another final season that's starting this summer, and
another final season.
Yeah, well, another show with its final season, Falling Skies, season 5. Is going to start this summer, and from what I've heard, this is going to be the final season.
So, have you watched any of this?
I have not, but I have heard this is one of those shows that's at the top of my list. I need to get on it and get caught up because I've heard it is really good.
Well, here's a spoiler for you. Take zombies out of Walking Dead and make them aliens. Hey, same TV show.
Really?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought, hey, it's about aliens attacking Earth. This is right in my wheelhouse. I watched one episode. It's like, all right, now I'm pissed. Turned it off and have never turned it back on.
Oh, that's not good.
No. The Earth has enough to deal with aliens attacking. And the first episode, they're captured by this rogue band of other humans to make life even tougher instead of just fighting the fucking aliens. It drives me up a tree. So done, canceled, never watched it again.
Yeah, it's not like Independence Day where all the humans say, you know what, we need to get together and fight these aliens.
Exactly. You know, my thought is, I guess Ish completely disagrees with me. That's fine. A lot of people disagree with me, Ish. I'm used to it. The way I look at it is yes, you could do all this stuff and, you know, go against your fellow humans and be the strongest band out there and then get annihilated by the fucking aliens. So, what good did you do? Nothing. Yeah. Band together, beat the aliens, and then worry about the politics of the thing afterwards. It just pisses me the fuck off, as you can tell.
Yeah, I get it.
It makes me cuss, which, you know, I rarely do. I hardly ever cuss.
So what do you think about, do you have Showtime? You gonna watch Masters of Sex season 3?
I do not have Showtime. I have seen Masters of Sex season 1. And it's a good show. and not because it's called Masters of Sex and there is sex in it. It's just a good show.
Yeah.
What's his name? Martin. The hell is his name?
I don't know.
Hell. I can't remember anything. He played the Prime Minister Tony Blair in the movie about Queen Elizabeth.
Yeah, I got nothing.
Martin Sheen.
Oh, Martin Sheen.
Michael Sheen. Michael Sheen.
Martin
and
Sheen?
Michael.
Okay, Michael.
And he's good. And then her name doesn't matter what her name is. She looks damn good naked. So I like watching her. But you know, it's really the guy who plays Harvey Dent in Gotham is in it. Plays one of the young doctors. It's just well done, well written. It talks about, it kind of shows you how uptight people were about sex in the 50s. You know, here's a guy who's using university resources to do a study on sex, and uptight America is having a shit fit. And I don't know. I liked it. You know, you watch a show called Masters of Sex thinking brown chicken, brown cow, but it's better than that. It's a good show, and the nudity and stuff like that's just icing on the cake.
Oh, that's cool. Maybe I'll have to check that one out then.
Yeah, you can't watch it with your kids, but that's okay.
I don't watch TV with my kids unless it's on Nick Jr. or Disney Jr. But there is Sci-Fi does have a show, a reality show, I guess you would call it, that I actually want to check out. It's called Geeks Who Drink.
So it's about us?
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, kind of. This is let's see, Zachary Levy executive produced and hosts this new original weekly game show based on a nationwide pub trivia contest of the same name. In each installment, 2 teams of self-proclaimed trivia geeks, including a celebrity captain, battle it out in a rapid-fire quizzes that cover topics from pop culture to science fiction. After 3 rounds of ruckus gameplay and mostly friendly competition, the winning team will earn bragging rights, a spot on the Geeks Who Drink leaderboard, and a bevy of prizes to geek out over. I think this is kind of cool. The pub trivia thing is, to me, it intrigues me. I think it's a kind of a neat idea, and the fact that they're trying to put this on TV, where, you know, somebody like myself who has a hard time getting out to a bar to play trivia since I've got kids at my house, you know, I think this is going to be kind of fun. I actually kind of want to sit and play along with them and see how much of this stuff I know.
That would be pretty cool. That would be, and because it's called Geeks Who Drink, it would be a good show to get your friends together and drink and try to answer the questions. It would be fun.
Yeah. Yeah. And, see, that's a good show coming out on Sci-Fi, unlike Sharknado 3 that's going to be coming out this summer.
You don't think that's going to be good?
Fucking hell, dude.
Well, hell, the tagline is "Oh hell no," so
yeah.
that tells you everything you need right there. And it has David Hasselhoff. So,
yeah. Oh,
and Bo Derek.
Joys. Well, did you see Stars in their Blunt Talk? This is from Seth MacFarlane, but it's going to be starring Patrick Stewart as a British newscaster, Walter Blunt, who moves to Los Angeles with his alcoholic manservant and the baggage of several failed marriages to host a sanctimonious talk show. This actually kind of sounds funny.
It does sound funny. I wonder if Seth MacFarlane was watching Newsroom on HBO and went, "Hey, I've got an idea for a show.
I can do this." Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
Oh, here's good news. Here is very good news. Season 2 casting for The Quest starts in July. I think we should, put in our application.
Let's do it.
Me, you, and Ish. They tell them we're a team, and they have to put us on the show.
Yeah.
We can form an alliance right away. Even though Ish doesn't believe banding is realistic, I think we could do it.
Nice. Yeah. And, last, here we already talked about Fear the Walking Dead. That one's at the bottom of the list here because it doesn't actually have a date. It just has August. So it's really not coming out this summer. It's not coming out till the fall. So
I'm glad they told me the names underneath the picture because I thought, hey, is that Ray Romano? What the hell's he doing in The Walking Dead? But it's not Ray Romano, which would have been hilarious anyway.
That would have been funny. And lastly on here, Continuum. I watched the first couple seasons of Continuum, but then I kind of fell off the wagon of it. It wasn't enough to keep me going, but it's, I guess, still running. So I figured it'd have been done by now.
I liked it. I will definitely watch that one. It says to be announced as far as the date.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like Rachel Nichols.
Yeah.
I like the kid who plays the eventual, I guess, the future villain. I don't know what his name is, but I think he's pretty awesome. So
no, it's good, and I guess this is it says here in the description, this series finale is dedicated to the devoted fans who have loyally supported us since day one. So,
hell yeah,
4th and final season right here.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's a few of the highlights from shows that are
or lowlights, depends on how you look at it.
There's a lot of stuff on here. If you really want to get going, there's a huge list of stuff that's coming out this summer. So if there's something that we didn't talk about, be sure to go check out IGN, or we'll put a link to this in the blog, so you guys can go to our blog and check out this list.
That's right. And then, if you hear of something else, send us an email and let us know what that is.
Yeah.
Because, we have nothing else to do but watch TV and dream that we'll be on TV one day. That's why, the casting for The Quest begins July 3rd. So, we need to figure out a way to get ourselves inserted into that. And I just like using the word insert. So anytime I can say I want to be inserted into that, just kind of makes my day. So let us know if you know of any other TV shows we didn't cover that you would want to cover.
Or something you think we should watch just so that we could talk about it here on the podcast.
Is that what this is? Is this a podcast?
Something like that. I'm not really sure it classifies as a podcast. But
let's go with that because I can't think of anything else to call it.
Yeah, and I've only got one more thing before we end up signing off on this lovely podcast, since we have gone plenty long. All of you with Windows 8, you should go and look in the look down at your icons by your clock and see if there's a window logo down there. Because there was one on my computer today when I ran a bunch of updates. And guess what? I signed up to get Windows 10, which comes out July 29th. Boom.
So now you think you're special, don't you?
That's right. Over the coming weeks, customers will be able to reserve a free copy if they are currently running Windows 7 or 8.1. Users will receive a notification in their taskbar notifying them they can upgrade. If you reserve your upgrade, Windows 10 will start immediately downloading to your device when it's available. Microsoft's next operating system is bringing back the Start menu, which is happy news for many people.
Well, it depends on the people. And I like your reading voice you used there. That was pretty good.
You like that?
I haven't got that.
It's the same one I use to the kids when I have to read their books, which is part of the reason why I was late getting on here. I had to read books.
I hate when that happens. Well, I haven't got my icon. I think Toshiba is just teasing me and not letting me have the new stuff.
Yeah, they're gonna make you need to buy a new laptop anyway, dude.
Well, honestly, one day you're gonna see. I'm going to say, hey, I'm podcasting from my new laptop because I'm going to punch this one and bust it in half. Toshiba, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Yeah.
I had to restart this thing 5 times in a row because, and maybe somebody who's technology savvy can tell me what the hell I'm doing wrong. It does this thing where I boot it up, put in my password, blah, blah, blah. And then I open up Google Chrome or anything else, and as soon as I type a letter, it becomes a hotkey. So if I hit S, it brings up the search box. If I hit F, brings up searching the files box. It pisses me the fuck off, and I don't know how to turn it off, so I have to reboot every time. And tonight it was like especially bad, and I had to reboot 5 times in a row, like I said. I don't know if I'm punching a combination of keys that's causing this. What the hell is causing this? But I have punched the keyboard a couple of times now. One of these times I'm going to hit it so hard it's going to meet the same fate as my previous laptop. And that is it no longer works and has gone to laptop heaven. Or hell. I'm hoping it's burning in hell, to tell you the truth. But, yeah, I have anger management issues when it comes to laptops. Yeah, and work gave me one. Suckers. One day they're going to be like, how come you're not getting any work done? Well, my laptop broke. I don't know how this happened. And ignore the fact that that imprint is the same size as my fist. I don't know what that means.
That's awesome. It could be worse. It could be a bullet hole in it. So
yeah. Well, I grew up in the era where if the TV or something didn't work, you just slapped it on the side.
Yeah, you bang on it.
So the laptop doesn't work. You punch it square in the keyboard.
Yeah.
It's just a natural progression. Like there's no rabbit ears for me to put tinfoil on, so I have to punch the keyboard. So
yeah, I get it. So, all right, we'll call that one a night on that note before Kit punches his keyboard. And you can check us out on our blog at geekvice.blogspot.com. You can follow us on Google Plus and Facebook. Just search for Geekvice. You can also find us now on Stitcher Radio. So you guys go check us out at stitcher.com/podcast/Geekvice. Or just search for us on Stitcher.com. That's probably the easiest way to do it.
Who knows?
Yeah, you can follow Kip on Twitter at Kip Killigan. You can follow me on Twitter at GeekVice. And thanks for everyone listening to our ramblings. And if you want to comment on any of the stuff that we talked about, or you can send us an email at geekvice@gmail.com. And we will see you next week.
Good night. Good night, Ish.
See ya.